We're working on the lion and the soldier painting, and today I'm going to be focusing on the lion. We're going to be really working on the mane. We're going to be working on some details around the eyes, the mouth, possibly the paws. This is a painting based on a allegorical representation of praying and God fighting our battles, specifically Jesus fighting our battles. You have a soldier, he's holding his ground, but he's a little unsure of what to do. And we've got the lion, the fierce lion in the front, going through this woods on fire, leading him to victory. And so if in your life you're going through struggles and trials, you're unsure of what to do, maybe even God seems distant, maybe there's doubts and fears all around, you can trust the Lion of Judah to fight your battles. And that's what this painting is all about. But I'm going to be diving in, like I said, and showing you how to do some details on the lion using the acrylic glazing technique. Now, before I begin, let's open up with a word of prayer, and then we'll dive right into the process. Father, I ask a blessing on this painting. Help me to be able to show the next steps on it. I pray that you would guide every brush stroke. Bless the students as they're working on their paintings. I pray this would be of benefit to them. It would be of help to them. And we thank you for this time in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so on my palette, I've got some colors: titanium white, Indian yellow, raw sienna, and organic orange. Again, titanium white, raw sienna, Indian yellow, and organic orange. And I'm making some combinations with them. I figured I'd do a video here just to show you the process. So I'm taking the titanium white and Indian yellow, and I'm going to be doing a few nuances on the highlighted part of the face primarily, but we might get into some of the shadows as well. So let's take this and I'll show you that color on our white card, and then we're going to just zoom in. I want to show you some nuances we can do right here. Now we do have to look at the reference photo, and you can see that, and you know, some of the contrast. So important to get the contrast. That's the hugest thing. See the shadowed parts of the face, the highlighted parts of the face, everything works out of the contrast. You establish the form first, you establish the contrast first, then you embellish with more nuances and color. Got to get things in the right order, priority. So we're placing these glazes over a few spots, and I want to get a slightly darker version of this. So I'm mixing this color that's already on my brush into this slightly darker version where I have a bit of burnt sienna added to the mixture. And it works really nice if you can kind of, blend out where you've got a cooler color, where like on the right-hand side, we've got some kind of raw umber dark and even a bit of ultramarine blue in there. And we're blending into that. And this is kind of a halation in process, that idea of getting the warmer, more intense colors at the juxtaposition of a light and dark value shift. So that's what we're endeavoring to do. But I'm going over some of these nuances, just embellishing, just adding a little bit more detail, working around the eyes. Now above his left eye, we should have a really vibrant kind of color. And so for that, let's add a little bit of organic orange to this mixture on the top. And just a little bit of Indian yellow, and we want to make that nice and intense. And we're going to pop that in right above the eye. I think that's going to give it a little bit of extra vibrancy. There we go. It's all about being patient. You know, you can't necessarily get it all in one layer, so you just have to do a little bit here, and then on the second or third or fourth layer, you can finish what you started. Now I'm going to take some raw umber dark, just a bit of burnt sienna, raw umber dark, and a bit of alizarin crimson, and mix them together. And I'm going to put that on the nose. Now here's the color on the white card, so you can see that. And then this is going to go on this lower half right here. Just darken that. And then we want to get a little bit more of this orangish color in the teeth. Let's take some organic orange, add it to this mixture of some matte medium. Now the matte medium is clear acrylic without pigment, so it makes it translucent. And you can see as we put that on there, see how it's translucent, like it doesn't actually obscure the teeth, it just adds some warmer color to it. And if I show this to you again on the white card, you can see the black line underneath it and how you can see through it. That's what that looks like with the glazing technique. Now I'm going to get some, you can add a little white to your glazes too though and make them semi-opaque, and you know, I've shown that many times on this channel, how that can really add a lot of richness and depth to your paintings. But I'm putting on these little glazes, like on the teeth. I just want to kind of warm them up a little bit. I can make the layer a little bit thicker, and with that, then it gives it a little more richness. Gives it a little more vibrancy. All right. That's good. Now let's darken the tongue a little bit. And for that, let's use some naphthalene red, and then we'll mix some titanium white and make a pink. Now, if I just put this color on the tongue as it is, because we think, well, the tongue is pink, right? So let's just, you know, let's just add pink. But we can't just do that. We can't simply use the color out of the tube. Even the white and red is too strong. So we're going to minimize that, kind of soften it up, desaturate it by adding some raw sienna, this earthy color. And then we'll add even just a little bit of raw umber dark, again, to tone it down more. And then we'll desaturate it even further with just a little bit of ultramarine blue, which is a complementary color to any oranges. But you bring that in, and now suddenly you've desaturated it. And that might be getting us closer to the color we're looking at. So I'll show this to you on my white card. This is what the pink would look like if I didn't desaturate it. And this is what it looks like now with those other colors added. You can see how it's a lot earthier. Now let's add some matte medium to this to make it a little more translucent so the light shines through it. And I'll show this to you, whoops, on the white card. Now you can see that black line through it more, and we know that it's more translucent. Now if I apply that to the tongue, I should get a color that works pretty well. And even that might not be enough. I can always adjust it with another layer. I like it, but it probably can get adjusted even just a little bit more. And I might add a little more blue to it in the next layer, just to show that some of the, you know, light from above is shining on it. This kind of blue light we have in the background, this cooler. We have the contrast in this painting between the cool and the warm. And that's often how it is with life in general. We have a contrast between trials in our lives and blessing, you know, cool and warm. And the contrast between the two is what makes us really appreciate those blessings when they come. Going through a time of darkness, going through a time of suffering, going through a time of despondency, doubt, really helps you to appreciate the times of blessing, the times of clarity, the times of joy that God brings in the midst of suffering. And so, got to have the darkness to appreciate the light. Got to have the cool to appreciate the warm. And even though in this painting, the fire symbolizes trials, I'm going to put some cooler tones on that tongue after this dries to kind of show the effect of the cool light shining on it. But it's easier usually to cool it down than to warm it up. So I'm going to let that sit like that. And then I'm going to add just a darker shadow, taking this color here, adding a little bit of raw umber dark, and then a little bit of this pinkish color, pulling that back in once I've darkened it. Maybe just a little more raw umber dark. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that on the shadowed part of the tongue right here. And you know, maybe that could be warmed up a little bit more, but that'll be enough. It's close enough. I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow right here as well, get some separation between where the tongue hits the teeth. That's good. Now, while that's drying, let's do some more work, you know, on some of the fur and the highlights. Right here is an opportunity to get some really nice golden tones in there. Zoom out a little bit so you can see that part better. Now, let's go to our palette. We'll add titanium white and a little bit of Indian yellow and just a bit of that organic orange. We have a semi-opaque glaze. You can see that on our white card here, and we're going to be adding that into the hair. But when you add that white, it does kind of desaturate the color. I'm going to just add a little more Indian yellow and then some matte medium. So instead of relying on the white to get the lighter value, I'm adding more matte medium to get it. And this will make it really strong. Whoops, I just want to show you this color on my white card. You can see the difference between Indian yellow primarily with matte medium and the Indian yellow with titanium white, which desaturates it and makes it not quite so vivid. Now, if I put this down in this area, that's going to get really, really strong. And that's just it's going to glow. I mean, it's just going to glow. Now, let's not have that be the only instance. If you use a color in a painting, you don't want to just have it in one location. You want to distribute it in other places where appropriate. So I'm going to put this bright, vibrant color in other spots. But this will really, really make it glow. Now, it's possible to go overboard with this, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to add a few embellishing touches, like right here, where we have that contrast around the mane that really makes this white glow. See, when you add these vibrant colors, it just makes everything glow so much more. And as a matter of fact, I could add this color to the flames. Let's just do that and make things fun. And that's where we'll kind of end this video for today. So let's take some matte medium. I actually need some fresh matte medium because I have a little bit of red that got into it. And then let's just bring that into this yellow. Okay, so we've got the yellow here. And we're going to put that over the fire. Just intensify it. In fact, let's add just a little bit more straight up Indian yellow. We'll just get that in the flames. Yep. That's nice. That's going to really, really make it strong now. You can see it as I'm adding it over the whole thing. That's how you can get some really vibrant flames in your painting. See that? We just put that over the whole fire and watch it just jump. I mean, you can almost feel the heat emanating from it. I love it. Now we're going to add some over to the right-hand side, get that yellow, and you have that yellow where you already have, you know, the reds on there and the oranges. You can just intensify it. But see how that works? See how translucent this is? Like, I'm not disturbing any of my detail. That's the power of glazes. Now, even if you paint your painting primarily opaquely, you can always glaze on top and embellish the color and give it more vibrancy. It just makes it so nice. Now we'll add some yellow to the flames in the front as well. I'm just going over everything, basically. Just going over everything like that. Really, really strengthening those flames. Yep. All right. That's good. So you can see now how the yellow, because, you know, we started with just putting yellow right here on the lion. We had it we had to add it to a few other places. We ended up adding it to the fire, but if you look at the reference photo, you will see that it is not like it's out of the ordinary to have it in there. It's not, you know, like we put it in there for no good reason. I mean, see how intense that yellow is, how vibrant that is. So it makes sense to have that in these flames, building off of the color we have in the lion's fur and intensifying everything. And again, heightening that contrast between the cool and the warm. And that makes all the difference in your painting. So I hope this video has been beneficial to you. I look forward to sharing more in the process with you. This painting is definitely more than halfway finished. So I'll be adding more nuances, more detail, more refinements. Look forward to sharing more of the process with you. But hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Check out more of my videos, tips, techniques, tutorials, free guides, free classes at realisticacrylic.com. So go to Realistic Acrylic Portrait School. Website is realisticacrylic.com. And I'd love to teach more to you there. All right. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.